Magic card frames are getting out of hand. As you can see here, we have the Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Wanted Poster, and Vault Frame cards. So on the left-hand side here, there's Vraska, Satoru, Rakdos, Tiny Bones, which was in the thumbnail, and then the Vault Frames here are down below. And so the Vault Frames they're a slight improvement over the Wanted Posters. And the funny thing about all of these various showcase frames as we scroll down is there's a lot of flavor that Wizards adds to them. However, if you go to the Wanted Posters here, the problem is that the borders and the template of the card, the frame itself, is not colorful and is not conducive to clear gameplay and a clear board state. So if I'm playing a deck with these cards, the Secret Lair cards, etc., then people have a hard time seeing what's in play. Like, are these colorless cards? Are they artifacts? Are they lands? What are they? And so I think these chapter frames work with artifacts, lands, colorless cards in general, but the more color you add, the trickier it is. As you can see with Loot the Key to Everything, like this card, you can't tell like what color is that. It's like gold. I guess gold is fine, but like pest control, like does this look like a black-white card if this was upside down across the table? You can't really tell. And so these are the OTJ cards, the newest card frames here. And so like the Modern Horizons 3 card frames are yet to be like fully established. They do have the frame break as well as the profile frames so far that have been spoiled. And these look pretty good. These are colorful. These are nice. Unlike the, the Markov Manor. Yeah, Murders at Markov Manor. Are these the dossier? Yeah, the dossier frames. These are just hideous. As you can see, like Agros Kos right here. Prolf right here. I can't even pronounce that name. Anzrag, the Quake Mole. These cards are not colorful. Like, they lack the color. Maybe they're not quite as bad as something like Battle for Baldur's Gate with the storybook, not the storybook, the rules. It's the rules book frame, and these are just like the most bland, like colorless frames I've ever seen. And so like I get why they did it, right? Because this feels like the comprehensive rule book for D&D. It's flavorful. It's nice. It's like, oh, it feels like you're turning the page, right? You're reading a book. But Magic is not a book. Magic is a board game. And as you can see here, none of these cards have differentiation from each other. They're all the same flat color scheme. And you have one little teeny mana symbol in the corner that shows you what color it is. And so going back to some more frames here, one of the worst ones is also the Modern Horizons 2 showcase frames. These are the sketch frames. Now, these were kind of nice in that they were cheaper than the real card. So, like, I don't want to say real card, than the standard frame. So, Archon of Cruelty, normal price, I think, is a little bit more than this. So, you get the sketch frame for $12. You can get the regular one for, I guess they're a similar price. I don't know. But either way, at one point they were cheaper. And so there's potential upside to it. That might have been a bad example. But as you can see, these cards also suffer the same fate as the Wanted Posters, as the Baldur's Gate cards. I'm going to start shifting over to mix things up a little bit. And so the sketch frames from Modern Horizons 2 are another horrible example. Perhaps the most famous example here is, as we scroll through the years, here we go, the Invocations, the Amoket Invocations. Now, everybody, made videos about this, articles about this, yelled on Twitter about it. But the Invocations are simultaneously beautiful art and like a beautiful frame in theory, but you can't read the card text. First of all, you don't know what the title of the card is. There's no color to it other than like kind of these like painted pillars, like video game style paint on the pillars. So like, yeah, Force of Will in the top left corner here, it's blue. You can only tell that because of these pillars here. And then you have, I literally can't read this. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is like black painted pillars. You have Entomb. I can't, I'm looking right at it and I can't read it. And so these are kind of the most infamous showcase frames that Wizards has done, at least in my opinion. And because part of it is that these were actually kind of pricey, so people would spend a bunch of money on them, put them on the battlefield, and then you couldn't tell what it was. As you can see here, the Masterpiece frames. This is an example of a great card frame. These are all artifacts, first of all. And so these are easily distinguishable in your board state. They don't have color. They're beautiful. They're glowing. They stand out. They pop off the board. These are wonderful. This is how Magic design should strive to be. And as you can see, the expeditions, lands, these ones are a little bit, these looked really cool, but to be fair, they're fetch lands. It's not super important that they, differentiate too much on the battlefield. They do have a little bit of the split here, the color split. A good example of this is from the new set here. So you can see here, Mabel, Heir to Cragflame. This is from the new Bloomborough set, which is going to be releasing later this year. This one I like because it has even split, red and white. Across the table, I can see that this is a red and white card. It is flavorful, it's colorful, it's nice. I like it. And so, going through the years, here, let's just go through the years really quickly. Here we go. So, 2023, you have Lost Caverns of Ixalan. And these, I'm looking these up here. These are the Legends and Gods of Ixalan. These look pretty cool. They're a little bit tricky to tell, but I'd put them kind of in I'd give them like a B- in terms of readability across the board. As you can see here, there's a Call Time. That's kind of a reprint one there. And scrolling down, those looked okay. The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. These ones actually, the frame is shaped well, but the colors are lacking, I think. The frames are all kind of, especially the gold, are all kind of a similar hue here. Now the green you can tell, the blue you can tell. So I'd also give them like a middling to medium grade there. Scrolling to the next year, 2022. This is the infamous Baldur's Gate. These I would like sort through card bins at my local store, and I just wouldn't even look at these. I like hurled in my mouth. I'm like, oh, I can't even stand to look at these. I don't care what it is. Ancient Brass Dragon, I don't want this. I don't want that card. I don't like it. Now some people do, and this is fair. Tastes are different. So, going to the next year here, we have what do we have? So these are the, oh God, I have it written down here. Not Baldur's Gate, Strixhaven Mystical Archive. So these ones I actually really liked. These are nice. This is Demonic Tutor, Teferi's Protection. These do have a little bit of a color to them. It's a little bit hard to tell, but it's just the frame is just so sweet looking that I think it works. And there's enough of the color kind of woven into the frame, as you can see on the natural order. There's a lot of green woven in here. I like this. Now, the infamous version, we're going to go to the Midnight Hunt here. Midnight Hunt. These are the Eternal Night black and white special showcase cards. Some of these are. I think I might be looking at a few of the wrong ones, but these are not good. Like the black and white cards and like the lands were the worst actually, because like the basic lands, the forest, the swamp, the island, wonderful art, first of all, great art, but it all looks like a swamp. They all look like swamps because it's all just black. There's, and actually way back there were like the black planeswalkers, like the black sheen planeswalkers. Those were really hard to read. And so the point of this video is that I just want Magic cards to be legible, to be readable. I want to be able to see what's happening. So the new Modern Horizons, I think, is doing it well. I think that as we scroll through the years, there's some highs, there's some lows. There's some mediums. Ikoria is kind of cool. Ikoria is a little bit medium. It had some cool mutate cards here. The Gem Razor. This looks kind of sweet. It's hard to tell what color it is, but it looks sweet. Octopus looks cool. These weird I don't like the Royal Elemental. That's not that great. But yeah, a good example here would be Throne of Eldraine. So the Throne of Eldraine storybook showcases are a great example. This is probably my personal gold standard for a regular set showcase frame, not including a masterpiece. This is kind of like the platonic ideal of what I want to see in a card frame. So I'm going to put that over here. And I think we're about done. The funny thing here is fun fact, 2018 didn't have any special frames, because I think what they did was they had the masterpieces, the expeditions, and yeah, so it's expeditions, then masterpieces, then invocations, then they skipped a year. I think they got scared off by the invocations. I don't know what happened that year. And then they went to possibly some of the best with the Eldraine here. And so, Yeah, what do you guys think of the frames? Do we think that the new style with like Mabel Bloomborough is going to look good? Do you think that the vault frames look good? What do we think of these?